Hello again. So, like I said in the last video, I was going to do an AI video, which this one is going to be, where we're going to discuss how AI has affected the scene of both fan fiction and fan art and the bad it has caused. Because honestly, I don't see any positives in AI despite just killing creativity in people. So, for those of you who don't know what AI actually is, which if you don't, I'm questioning if you live under a rock at this point. Uh, AI is simply artificial intelligence, it's a simulation of human intelligence where it's designed to learn and pretty much mimic human behavior. It's supposed to be able to problem solve for us, write things for us, make videos, understand what we are telling it to do, and process the information. And it continuously learns from the information we are constantly giving it, which in some ways is good. I would say, for an academic standpoint, if we're talking about like engineering and computing, mathematics, you have a computer that an AI computer that is constantly looking for solutions. I can get down with that. What I don't like with AI is when people start using it for writing and fan art. That is something you cannot replace with a computer. You need a human for this. There's just no emotion behind it at this point, at least in my perspective. Okay, so we're going to get into the writing portion first with AI and my issues with it. So it is a controversial topic, as some people see no issue whatsoever with someone using AI to 100% write things versus people who are 100% against it, like myself. And I just get very heated when it comes to AI and writing. I'm sorry, but if you can't write for yourself, don't have a fucking bot do it for you. But we're just going to discuss it. I'm going to try to be as impartial as possible. So we're going to get down to it. Well, I don't like fan fiction, at least, is free, so we're not profiting off of it. I have more of an issue when we have authors who are using AI exclusively to make money. And I'm sorry if I end up butchering the names on this, but you have Tim Boucher, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, who is prolific with this. He has admitted to using ChatGPT to write over 100 mini novels in just less than a year. And he sells these. I'm sorry, but you didn't make this yourself, so why are you making money on this? This wasn't your own creativity. You had a robot essentially make this for you. You're not the creator. I just I'm just at a loss for words with this one. That you 100% make stories with AI, yet you want to make money off of it, while you have authors who struggle to get their work out there, and their writing is most likely 1,000 times better than yours because it wasn't AI generated, and they can't get their books to sell, but you can get your AI shit sold. And to me, that just pisses me the fuck off extremely. The next one. This one I'm on the fence with because she admitted to only using 5% for her novel. And her novel's plot was about AI. So I can see why she wanted to use it to prove that AI can do it, since she did write 95% of her book. I am very sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Ray Kuden. She wrote The Tokyo Tower Sympathy. So she admitted to using ChatGPT to write about 5-ish% of her novel. But again, her book is about AI, and I can see why she wanted to do it, to prove the fact that AI can do these sorts of things. And she wrote more than the majority of her own book. So that one I am slightly okay with, but I am on the fence that you did use AI to write about 5% of the book, but again, I'm going to let that one slide a little bit. The next two I'm going to lump together, which is Casey Crown and Lena McDonnell. Both of them used AI to generate their novels. McDonnell, for me, she was plagiarizing. She admitted that she used AI to mimic another author's style. I am sorry. That is just not okay. And one of the dangers we have with AI, that it can just copy anything at once. Crown, on the other hand, said that she used AI to make minor edits. This one I'm more okay with because I myself have used ChatGPT when it comes to work and going through to do final look throughs to see if I have any spelling errors. Because, yes, I work for the corporate office for the company I work for. We have emails and PowerPoints and such that we have to send out. And for my, and even self reviews we have to do every year. And for the more high end things like the self reviews, and if I'm sending a very, very important email, I will let AI look at it after I have looked through it myself 10 times to make sure I haven't found anything. And unfortunately, we are actually required by work to do this. I am not a fan of it, but I mean, in the sense that you're using it for grammar and spelling errors, and you're not having it rewrite for you or write exclusively for something, that I am more okay with. So the other issue that comes up is the unauthorized, and I'm sorry if you're hearing clicking because I'm trying to like click through the notes I made on this, and my little Elgato mic tends to be a bit strong, so it picks up my mouse clicking, it picks up the fan on my laptop, so I apologize for that. But back to the subject. So AI, the other issue we have is the unauthorized data usage. So we have to train AI in order for it to do what we want. So what happens a lot of times is that people take other people's work, whether it be official writing like George R. R. Martin, J.K. Rowling, James Patterson. Well, James Patterson has people ghostwrite for him, so he can just go fuck himself now. So I don't care about him. But other writers out there and professional authors, a lot of people take their material, inject it into an AI like OpenAI or ChatGPT to train the AI bot on how to write in those styles. To me, that is not okay. Like, the other author who used it to mimic someone else's writing style, that is not okay. I'm sorry, but you are taking someone else's copyrighted item, or in this case, writing, and you're explicitly using it without permission to train an AI bot. I mean, it's just, it's copyright infringement somewhat. It's not like fan fiction where we're not claiming to get paid for it. I mean, the problem is that a lot of people are making videos with AI and then they're uploading it to, say, YouTube and TikTok, and they're getting monetized on it. That's copyright infringement right there. And for some that are actually using AI to write books, it's plagiarism at that point. If you're going to use those works to make your own stories and get paid for it, it just comes down to that. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just, it's really ruining, I feel, a lot of fan created content over the past year. And I also have my issues with policies for some sites like AO3 and fanfiction.net. They won't outright prohibit it, which to me it's just saying that we don't give a shit. Make it, go into Chat GPT and OpenAI and what's that one, Writerly or Writingly something. They'll write stuff for you. It's just encouraging people to use it at that point if you're not going to tell people it's not okay and not allowed to use. And my other issue with AI when it comes to fan fiction are the spam AI bots that are out there. And my God, have just been so prolific, especially if we're looking at fanfiction.net. And don't get me wrong, fanfiction.net is super old, but they are coming out with a brand new site. But it took them way too long to get it under control. And for me, fanfiction, it's supposed to be about community. And AO3's whole thing is being a safe haven for readers. So answer this for me. If we're AI generating fan fiction and it's allowed, how is that being conductive to what the site was originally created for? It's now no longer a safe haven for readers to read things that their community made themselves to share with their other fellow fans of this fandom. Instead, we're letting robots take over the site, publish straight garbage and shit, honestly. It's no longer community. It's just robots writing for people. And people and also the other issue I have is people taking other people's fan fictions and inputting it into AI to train it. Because that's just as fucked up as, say, you took an official author's work. Because then at that point, you're plagiarizing someone else's work. I mean, it's going to be harder to prove that you took someone's fan fiction unless you were to outright admit, like, hey, I copy and pasted your entire fan fiction and put it into chat GPT and let it make a story for me. I mean, someone would have to outright admit that versus I copy and paste it, like all the major points of Harry Potter, put it into Chat GPT, and I let it go wild and write fan fiction that has no continuity and has all these errors in it. But at this point, I'm probably rambling because I'm just getting so pissed off. So, yeah. We're just going to leave it at that because I'm getting a headache just thinking about how that affects the writing. We're going to go back into the bots now. And I'm going to stop just rambling about that. Okay, so we're going to take one example. Let's see, the latest story I published back in, November of last year. It got its final update in January. Predator and Prey. When I first released this thing, that's when the AI bots were like at their peak, I feel. Like that's when it was like really starting to ramp up and I had no idea because I hadn't posted too much. I mean, I had some updates with cause and effect at that point. Let me see. Let me click around so you can hear my clicking. Yeah, so I updated that in June, and I was still getting spam reviews and spam messages. And this was in January. I mean, even when I updated moments captured in time back in December of last year, I got freaking... Oh, my God. I can't even, explain what was going on with the amount of just spam reviews, spam private messages on fanfiction.net. And I will say fanfiction.net did finally remove the spam reviews. But the issue with that is, like, if I go to Predator and Prey, it says I have 13 reviews. If I actually physically look at them, there's only 4 physical reviews left. So they didn't update the review count on the site. But that's just proving out of those 13 reviews that I did get in, only 4 were legitimate. And it was an actual real person that reviewed. So I just had spam, oh, hire me to be a commission artist, or the copy and paste one where, let's see, because I still have one left that never got removed. Let's see. Let's read this one. Maybe if I could fucking read. I recently had the pleasure of reading Ramifications, and I just wanted to say how much it resonated with me. And they have ramifications in quotes because that's the bot changing out the title of the story for whatever story it's reviewing. Your storytelling is truly captivating. The way you've built the world and developed the characters made everything feel alive and vivid. Your work has been so inspiring, and I'd love the chance to connect or share some ideas and thoughts with you. If you're open to it, here are my contacts. And I'm not going to read any of the fucking contacts because we're not going to give this person the time or day. Thanks for creating such a wonderful story. I'm excited to read more of your work in the future. And did this person not leave this comment once? They left it twice. But this is just a small example because I've had so many of these over the past year that it's just ridiculous. And let me see something here. I want to say Cause and Effect officially got all of the spam taken off of it. Yeah. So Cause and Effect, every single spam review was taken away. But there were 2 legitimate reviews that were on it that unfortunately got caught up with that. So it wasn't perfect what fanfiction.net did. I'm not sure if they just did a sweeping delete, if from this date to this date, if you made updates, we're just going to delete everything. I don't know. Maybe that's how they did it. Or maybe they were just like, oh, if they don't have an account and they left a review, we're just going to up and delete the review. Let's see. Moments captured in time. Yes, they finally deleted the spam ones on that one too. And this one has so many reviews. I honestly don't know if any legitimate ones got caught up in that. The only one I know did was Cause and Effect. So yeah, Ramifications, that was updated in July, and I got this spam review in August. So it is starting up again. Just in the private messaging alone, I have hundreds of messages. Let's see, I have 503. And I would say probably half of those are just spam messages. And that's with me going in and deleting some of them. So that's a big problem. And part of me doesn't want to update and write new stuff because I'm honestly sick and tired of my email just getting cluttered with all these messages, either private messages or reviews. Let's see this message. Hello, I hope this message finds you well. I recently came across, and in parenthesis, because again, it's a bot just replacing the name, Ramifications. I must say, it was absolutely beautiful. Your storytelling left a lasting impression on me. It's inspiring to see writers who put so much soul into their work. Fucking irony, since you're using an AI bot to make this. I'm also a writer and an artist. Fuck you are, because you're using probably AI for everything. And create concept art for book covers and story illustrations. I'd love the opportunity to collaborate with you. Perhaps I could design some artwork for your fic. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Warm regards. Not saying the name because fuck them. So yeah, there's also another scam that goes around with that, because a lot of these are that they want you to pay them for art. But then what they're doing is that they are going on Chat GPT or OpenAI, and they are having those create the fan art for them. So you are essentially paying for someone to use AI, not using their own talent, to create art for you. I am very much not okay with that fucking shit. You want to use AI to make art? You don't belong online selling art. You need to go somewhere. And I don't care if that's a hot take or not. You just need to go somewhere at that point, because you don't belong online. And it's not even on fanfiction.net. It's also on DeviantArt. I've gotten so many of these. So let's see here. Where is, whoop, clicked on the wrong thing. Chat. Let's see. And normally with these, I just delete them, but a couple of these, I don't. So here we are. Here's one from December of last year. I only kept a couple. Let's see. Hello, how are you doing today? Sorry, can I use one of your pictures in your gallery as a mural? You don't mind, I'm currently on a project and you will be paid in credit for. So number one, a whole bunch of bullshit, because yeah, I don't draw, I write. So that's how you know it's spam. And it's a whole entire art commission scam that's going on DeviantArt, and it still is. They still haven't gotten a whole entire, I will say, handle on it. Let's see. Let's see. Hey there, how are you doing? I wanted to reach out and apologize for the spontaneous message. I'm an artist working at a museum. Nice to meet you. What? What? What, you fucking Kendra Saunders who fucking got inspired by Picasso, Michelangelo? No, you are not no artist working at a museum. You're someone hiding behind a computer screen trying to scam people. And let's see, here's another one. Hello there. Sorry for sliding into your DMs like this. Ooh, making it sound spicy. I love your unique and they spell exquisite wrong. Anyway, I'd like to use one of them for a project I'm working on. Your name and profile will be credited on the final painting, and you'll get paid too. Let me know if you're interested. Smiley face. Yeah, fucking spam. And let's see, another one. Oh my god. Hello, can I use one of your pictures as a mural? Another one. I'm currently on a project and you'll be credited for it and also get a piece of once it's done. I just had a stroke reading that sentence. What the fuck? If you're gonna at least scam people, like, I can't. Let's see another one. Hey, sorry, can I use one of your profile art pieces as a guideline or pose for another art project? You'll be credited. This one I actually, tried to see if it was a person, so I put, I don't have art. I write fan fiction, so I know that's a scam. Scam! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Why do I stand the game by trying to scam you off of an artwork? I was thinking about using your profile picture for the art piece, if that's fine by you. So, number one, on DeviantArt, I just have a screenshot of Shayera as my profile picture, so yeah. But at this point, I forgot that I had changed my profile picture from an image of Mew from Pokemon first movie to Shayera, so I put an image from a Pokemon movie that can be found on Google. This is the classic bait and switch scam where you pay the person and then do a stop payment and reverse transfer and hope to get the person's account info. Get a life, stop trying to scam people. I know I'm talking to a bot. I was just hoping maybe this was a real person somehow. The 1 out of 10 times it might be. Oh, right. I changed my profile pic to a cartoon, which can be Google searched as well. Still scam. So, yeah, that's my other issue with this, that AI has also opened the door to so much scamming out there that it's not even funny. And people, please, please, I'm begging you to be careful about who you are sending money to when they're telling you that they can make art for you or that you will get paid, because you will not get paid at all. Because what they are hoping that you do is that they'll say, yeah, we're going to use your art and we'll give you a commission on it. They'll say, send you $500. We're just going to make it an easy amount. They send you $500 supposedly for your part of the art commission. What they are hoping you do is that you immediately go out and spend that $500. Because what they're going to do is do a stop or a reverse transfer on the money to get the money back. And what they're hoping also is that they can get your account information out of this and take all of your money. So please, again, be careful on who you are trusting. Do not send money to anyone, to any artist, unless you know them personally and that you know you can 100% trust them. And please only support actual artists who make things themselves. Do not support AI artists. Okay, so we're going to go back to the actual fan fiction with the AI bots now. So there are ways supposedly you can tell if something is written with AI. The main new way is if an M dash or N dash is used. I have a problem with this. So when I was in late high school and college, this is how we were taught to write. We were taught to use M dash and N dash along with hyphens. So my issue comes in where there was one time I actually was accused of using AI to write my newer chapters and my newer story that came out because I used M dash. So, like I said earlier, I work for corporate now. I am a I can't say where I work because we have a strict media policy where if something we say offends someone and they don't like it and it gets back that we as an employee said it and they find out, we get terminated. So I'm not going to say where I work. All I will say is that I travel for work. I work for the corporate office. I don't have to live in the state the corporate office is in, thank God. I get to stay in the state that I live in, and I just travel to new stores and help open them up as a trainer. Anyway, so since I do work for corporate and I do need to actually write more, not professionally, but not as informally, I started using M dash again when I hadn't been using it since college. And apparently M dashes are indicative and 100% has to be AI. So I had someone accuse me of writing my story Predator and Prey using AI because I had M dashes. Number one, wrong. I actually wrote that. And I wanted to write something that was darker and was more mature. So I decided to use M dash instead of commas and semicolons in some areas of it. I want to say in Cause and Effect, the last chapter I did upload in July, I ended up not using M dash as much, and I went through it and I ended up removing it because I just don't want to deal with that accusation again. But yeah, apparently you can supposedly tell someone's using AI this way. And I remember the one argument made online about this was that using an M dash with AI is because AI knows how to write well and knows proper grammar. Huh. So you're telling me if a fan fiction writer knows proper grammar and knows how to use an M dash, they're not allowed to? Come on. Apples and oranges here. You're going to let AI use it, but you're not going to let an actual writer use it. I have a little bit of a problem with that. But we are going to curtail a little bit from AI, and we are going to go into a quick grammar lesson on how to use M dash, N dash, and a hyphen. Okay, so the use of an M dash. So if you don't know what an M dash is and why it's called that, an M dash is in essence a long dash. It's the width of the letter M that you can type on the keyboard. And when I mean an M, I mean a capitalized M. It's used to emphasize a word or phrase. Normally, you're going to use it in place of commas and semicolons. A lot of times you can use it when you're listing things. An N dash, though, is a shorter dash, but is still longer than a hyphen by just a little bit, and it's the width of a capitalized N. This is more used to indicate ranges, numerical, normally in date ranges. It can replace the word versus. It describes directions, such if you had a flight. Like when I used to go to Germany to visit family, it was just Newark, Hamburg. You wouldn't need to say Newark to Hamburg on the boarding pass. It just said Newark N dash Hamburg. So hopefully that clears up a little bit of confusion if you didn't know what the two dashes were. So we'll go into examples of an M dash when it comes to introducing lists and not using a colon. So an M dash can be used in place of a colon, and it's considered a less formal way. And it's not used in formal writing, which is why typically if I am writing a fan fiction, I am going to use an M dash when it comes to making a list. I am not going to use a colon, while at work I would use a colon instead of an M dash. So in this example, it's multiple languages are spoken in Canada. M dash, English, French, and native languages. All it's doing is listing the languages. So in this case, we're using an M dash and not a colon because they are not making it a formal sentence. Or in this case, it's not being used formally in a formal setting. You can also, before I forget, UK and US M dashes are different. So the UK, they don't actually use an M dash, they use the N dash in place of it. And they also put a space before and after their N dash. The other example is where you could use, say, a comma instead. So in this example again, from this, you'd better get ready, M dash, my parents will be here any minute. So in this case, it would actually be a semicolon since these are two complete sentences being put together. So typically, if you were to go use a comma in this, let's see, do I have a good example? Nope, that would be more of a colon. Oh, here's a good one. So this would be just additional information in a sentence where you could instead use commas, but in this case, M dashes were used. My phone, M dash, I got it just yesterday, M dash, has stopped working. Now, the I got it just yesterday doesn't really add much context to the story, which is why you can use commas on it. It's just giving additional, mostly unnecessary information here, because you could just say, my phone has stopped working. We don't care that you got it yesterday and it has nothing to do with the phone stopped working in this case. It's not like you put, my phone got soaked and has stopped working. That's actually pretty important on why your phone has stopped working. In this case, we wouldn't use em dashes or commas because that has something to do with why it's not working. So now we'll do some examples from my own writing where I ended up using an em dash. And unfortunately, I didn't have any en dash examples. I don't use en dashes in my writing. That's more at work I end up using them. So let's see our first sentence. They had no right to play with human lives, and Shayera wasn't about to let them escape justice, no matter how elusive or dangerous they were. Again, this is a sentence where we could have used a comma because is this information necessary? No. Does it add drama to it? Sure. But it doesn't have anything to do with why she's not going to let them escape justice and yada yada. So an em dash was used in place of a comma. Another one is a list. Her eyes were like the depths of space, cold, dark, and endless. In this, a colon can have been used. I cannot talk today. In this case, a colon could have been used, but instead it wasn't. I used an em dash in place because again, this is informal writing. This is fan fiction. I am not making a list on a PowerPoint. The next one, she wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Again, this is another instance where we could just put a comma because this other information, not by a long shot, doesn't add anything to our sentence. It's just an add-on. And our final explanation. Example, it was the same unwavering conviction she'd seen in soldiers before they'd fallen on, and I know there is a typo here, so there you go. I didn't use AI, you fuckers. Before they'd fallen on the battlefield. That's what it should have said. So, again, this is before they've fallen on the battlefield does not add to the sentence. It's just additional information that doesn't add to the current plot or anything. It's just additional info. So these are examples of when I used em dashes in my work. Now time for en dashes. So as I said before, en dashes are normally used for ranges, normally numerical, and it replaces the word to. So if you said, like the example here, lunch is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Lunch is 11 a.m., 1 p.m. Top speed for this motorcycle is from 140, 160 kilometers per hour. So in this case, your en dash is replacing the word to. And as I said earlier, in the UK, they use the en dash in place of em dash. That is extremely rare to see in the US, but in this instance, they did use it. So the example would be 5 of us, en dash, well, space, en dash, space, Susan, Jeremy, Ian, Carlene, and Courtney, space, en dash, space, will be working on the project. So they had a list, but instead of using either a colon or an em dash, they used the en dash and used a space on either side of it. It can also be used in compound names if you're connecting pairs of names together. Like this example, and I apologize if I announce this name wrong. I'm probably going to because I'm a fucking dumbass. The Holly, oh Jesus Christ. The Harley Smoot tariff was among the causes of the Great Depression. So this would be more like your law firms, like I don't even know any I don't even know any except for the ones you see on TV. like Goldstein and Goldstein, which is a bad example since it's the same last name. But let's say if it was the last name, one last name was Robinson and the other one was Johnson, it would be the Johnson N dash Robinson law firm. What, or wait, did I say Johnson Robinson? Whatever it is, you know what I mean here. So that would be an example on the specialized use of an N dash, which is again quite rare to see. Now the hyphen. The hyphen is more used to connect compound words together. Also, normally with ages, prefixes and suffixes can also be connected with compound words. It can also be if, let's say, if when someone gets married, they keep their maiden name, but they also take the husband's name as well. Then you could have like Catherine Zeta Jones, where Zeta and Jones are both hyphened together to create a new surname, as she kept her name but also took her husband's name. But we'll get into connecting two words together. So let's say we're talking about ages. When it comes to ages, if you're saying 20 years old, you'll have 20, a hyphen, years, a hyphen, and old. So it's 20 years old would have hyphens in between each word. So as I said earlier, you're going to use your hyphens with your compound words, which is your most use for it. So the examples on here is over the counter, short term, self-respect, fast-paced. These are compound words. They are hyphened together. And normally you will also use hyphens when we're talking about compound numbers. In this example, we have 98. And when we are talking about fractions, in this example, we have 3/4. This is where we would also use our hyphens. And yes, I know I have cheated before in the past with writing, and I have not used hyphens as they should be used. Sue me, I'm a fan fiction writer. I don't get paid for this shit. And the other example was with prefixes such as ex, self, all, anti, and mid. So in these examples, you have anti-abortion, ex-president, mid-1960s, self-destructive, and all-knowing. Again, we would use our hyphen with the prefixes and their root words. And lastly, the other way, apparently, of telling if something is made with AI, I gotta laugh at this one, is the use of the Oxford comma, apparently. So maybe I'm just the product of the times. But when we were starting to create sentences back in first grade, which was, let's see, that was 1999 into 2000, I think. Or 2000, no, it was 2000 into 2001. Yeah, because I left first grade in June of 2001, because September 11th, 2001, I was in second grade. So yeah, it was 2000 to 2001, we were learning how to create sentences. I was taught all those years ago to use an Oxford comma. So if you do not know what an Oxford comma is, because yes, younger people will not know because I believe they don't teach it anymore, or they're starting to phase it out, and I will stand on the hill that I will forever use it. So in this example we have on the screen, so with the Oxford comma, we use it when we list words. We invited the stripper, JFK, and Stalin. That sounds like a fucking fun party to me. Anyway, we used a comma after each word in the, well, not each and every word, but we used it after stripper and we used it after JFK. This is saying that each word in this sentence that is listed is separate from the other. Otherwise, if you don't use it with the Oxford comma, it says we invited the stripper, JFK, and Stalin. At this point, we can say that because we didn't use the Oxford comma, we are saying that JFK and Stalin is the stripper, which that's just crazy in itself, which is not so fun. But yeah, apparently this is another thing that they're saying indicates if AI is used in writing, is if the Oxford comma is in use. This one I don't agree with. There are a lot of people that still use the Oxford comma, even in when I was in college, and that was, I don't know, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, however long ago it was, I don't know anymore. We were still using the Oxford comma even in college. So if you want to say it is, then fine, but to me, I don't think the Oxford comma indicates AI as much as M dash and N dash could. But even then, I'm on the fence with that, because if you know proper grammar and you know how to use the M dash, then by all means, power to you, use that M dash, my friend. Don't let it stop you. So, to sum this up, my issues with AI is that you're losing your sense of personal touch and originality, and that AI will control the algorithm. We see it on TikTok, we see it on YouTube, on Facebook, and if something starts trending with AI, it's going to limit what writers and artists can do, and it's going to limit their creativity from what's going on out there. And it also raises the question of what is ownership and copyright, because if you're letting AI create something, do you own it or does AI own it at this point? Because you didn't make it, an AI bot did. And how does that work with copyright? So, for example, with copyright, let's say you take Susan Collins with the Hunger Games series and you decide to feed that entire series into an AI bot, let's say ChatGPT in this instance. You feed it every single word from this series and you tell it, okay, create a story based off of the Hunger Games. And you go and you sell it. That's plagiarism. But the issue we have now, you technically, you didn't go write those words, so you didn't plagiarize. The AI bot plagiarized. Sure, you gave the AI bot the information, but it was up to the bot to use that information in order to create the story, which is now making a gray area. Because how can you sue an AI bot for plagiarism? Simple. You can't. Like my big issue that I saw just the other day on TikTok, someone is selling a Harry Potter book for $77 on the TikTok shop. And this isn't fan fiction. This is someone that used AI to write a story that they are now selling. Those aren't your characters. These are copyrighted characters. Whether you agree with J.K. Rowling or not, that's your business. I don't care what your stance is. I don't want to get into that. My issue though is that these are copyrighted characters that do belong to her. That's her intellectual property. And we have now used AI to create a book about Draco. And we are selling it for an exorbitant amount of money when it doesn't belong to you and you had a bot create it. And I'm going to give myself a headache by the end of this. I swear to God, I'm going to have a headache. But you're using a bot to create a lump of shit that you're then selling to people for money. If you're going to sell it, pay people to read it at that point. Don't sell it. It's shit. It's AI. It doesn't belong online. Go post it to AO3 or fanfiction.net or the shitty Wattpad. And yeah, I'm going to take that stance. Wattpad sucks. I don't like it. I have never liked it. I never had a use for it. But yeah, go post it somewhere. Don't sell your AI lump of shit. And you know what? Actually, no. Don't take your AI shit and go post it somewhere. I don't want to see that shit on fanfiction.net, and I don't want to see it on AO3. Go post it on Wattpad. Go post it on ficwad.net or .com, whatever that old site was called, if it still even exists. Post it somewhere else. Don't post it online on big fanfiction sites like AO3 and fanfiction.net. That's going to be my hot take on that. Anyway, getting back to it, outside of copyright, it also, when we're talking about, at that point, fan art, it's taking away jobs from people, because there are artists who do actual commissions, and by having people use AI to create art, it's making cheap, fast art. And I feel like standards have been lowered over the course of the past year or two when it comes to that, because of the AI being so prevalent. But it's also affecting those looking for commissions when you have AI scam bots out there looking for these commissions, and you don't know, is this an actual person or is this an AI bot trying to scam me? So it could be the unfortunate circumstance, like some of those examples I had earlier, where this could be a new artist and they just saw these messages flood them and they think like, oh, these are people that do actual art commissions and this is how they go about it. So they copy and paste the same message, and then they go out trying to get commissions, post this into people's private messages and such, and instead of being taken seriously, they're being taken as scammers. And outside of even just fan art, AI in general, when it comes to art and design, you can use AI to create websites, which is good. That's going to take away jobs from web designers at that point. So it's not even just taking jobs from artists, it's taking jobs from web designers and such when we get to the bigger picture. And when it comes to AI, it doesn't need to be, I guess the word I'm looking for here is efficient. It just needs to be quick and get the job done. We don't care what it looks like in the end when it comes to AI. All we care about is, did it get the job done? Is it complete? Can I post this? Can I sell this? Not, is the quality there? Is the quality good? Which a bot can't do. A bot can't put emotion into something. A bot can just put words on paper and try to mimic emotion, but it still can't do that. That's the difference between an AI and robot, between a living, breathing human being. We feel emotion. These AI bots do not feel emotion. They are mimicking emotions. So that is my stance when it comes to AI. I am very much against AI when it comes into the fan art and fan fiction realm. I do not believe in using either. My only exception would be if you're using AI in the sense that you're letting it proofread, but even then, you're feeding information into the AI bot, so it's going to keep that information. I think there's a way you can delete stuff, if I remember correctly, for ChatGPT. I'm not sure about Openly AI if they have the same thing, but yeah, I'm not a fan of putting my fan fiction into an AI bot and letting it go and proofread my stuff. The only thing I put into ever ChatGPT was my stuff for work, where I let it proofread and make it sound more professional, since I don't need emotion in my writing when it comes to work. I just need it to sound a bit more professional, because if you can't fucking tell already, I sound like I came out of a fucking barnyard. And even though, yeah, I can write well, that I have a very short attention span. So sometimes I just go off on tangents, and that also happens when I write for work. And then I need to sound more professional, and sometimes I need better synonyms than what I can readily think of. In that sense, I think AI can be used as a tool to assist, but I don't believe in using it to create everything from scratch. I have rambled enough and spent too much of your time already, so I am going to leave it at that. Let's see, what can the next topic be? We did AI, we did shipping. Maybe I'll do the headcanon one next. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, maybe we'll do the headcanons for the DCAU next. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I will see you guys next time. Stay safe out there with all the crazy stuff going on. And I'll see ya. Or, well, not see you, I'll talk to you. Yeah. And let's see if I can make this thing wink. I did it for Shy. Haha.